Let's see. Oh, I can hear myself. Ooh, hello, Frank.
Hello.
Hi. Why do you go into this like monotone stoicism every time we enter this fucking podcast? Anyway, this is a completely inappropriate podcast. Frank completely inappropriately just lowering his energy level immediately out the gate. How you doing, Frank?
I'm okay.
I'm okay. So you wanted to talk about the Force Awakens and Jedi Lies, the last.
Yes, I saw the movie.
The Wars of Stars.
Free on Twitter because fucking.
Free on Twitter?
Yeah. 'Cause
you bootlegging bastard.
yes,
allegedly that's how you watched it. You're not quite sure how you did it because you wouldn't admit to that on a public forum. That's a federal offense, mister, and you're on probation. Yeah, so let's just say allegedly you were able to, in an alternate universe, in a galaxy far, far away, you gathered the resource to watch this movie. And what'd you think of it?
It was horrible.
Really?
Like, fucking, oh my god, it made...
But like, in the way that episode 1 was, with Jar Jar Binks and shit, or like in a whole new realm of shit kind of Star Wars?
Like the first hour and 20 minutes they spent retconning The Last Jedi.
What do you mean retconning? How do you retcon The Last Jedi?
Like saying, no, this didn't happen, no, that's not how this works, you know. How can I explain this without...
Sorry about that, my voice is way too high up on this recording, so if that was odd for you listeners, my mistake.
Yeah, this is a hasty episode because our guest is here earlier than...
Yeah, we have a guest for our next episode coming up, a Moonchild. The Moonchild, she'll be showing up in a few minutes, so we're trying to get this recording out real fast. In a minute now. She may walk in during this recording, in which case she'll be joining us for an episode and a half.
Yeah.
But before she gets here, let's talk a little bit more about this Star Wars controversy. You always seem to have a Star Wars controversy, and I think you and Jerry overestimate my enthusiasm for Star Wars.
Do we now?
I think so. I love it. I mean, I'm a fan of Star Wars, but I'm not like a fanboy.
The other thing is that when I explain to potential guests what we're about, I tell them sex, relationships, pop culture, and everything inappropriate.
Ooh, pop culture.
Yeah.
We just talk off the top of our head and we try and extract a little bit of inappropriateness out of it. Like, for instance, is there any reason that there is a black lightsaber? And did you or did you not expect it to be thicker and longer?
Well, if you ever watched the Clone Wars, then you're well aware of the dark saber. Right, so then when...
I didn't watch the Clone Wars. In fact, I was going to start that this morning, but I fell back asleep.
Yeah, that's why I was like, hey, we should probably explain the dark saber before we get into...
Please do, because it was a real curious thing when I saw it. And then it bothered me that it looks like a katana as well. It's got like that tapered edge, just like a katana.
This thing belonged many, many years ago to a Mandalorian Jedi. That probably explains.
So there was a Mandalorian Jedi. I see. If it were, man, I don't know. Never mind. Okay, I'm gonna abandon that thought. I was gonna riff on a thought about. Well, I might as well go on it, right? Let's go inappropriate with this. It's nothing inappropriate. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway.
The Jedi Mandalorian.
Jedi Mandalorian. It would make sense to me that the original Jedis would have been Mandalorians because it's a very religious-based thing on like war and also peace and a sort of balance, you know, which is what the Jedi is all about, right? The balance between the good and the light and the dark force. But I abandoned that idea because the Mandalorians are very obviously a technology-based culture. They love their gadgets and gizmos aplenty and the who's-its and what's-its galore.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And there was a Mandalorian Jedi War.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was touched on. That was definitely touched on in the series, in the Mandalorian series.
Yes, and the weapons they have, let's call it today, is because of that. It's to give them an edge over the Jedi, because they were getting their asses handed.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. And they're both basically two different religious sects.
Yeah.
Ooh, going deep with it. But does it just? We can never get away from religion, can we? We're just talking Star Wars, and we still dive deep into that. Let's abandon that. What else did? So what about the dark saber?
So the dark saber.
From?
The dark saber. There was a Mandalorian Jedi named Tar Vizsla. When he died, the Jedi Temple kept his lightsaber, and the Mandalorians weren't cool with that. So then they raided the Jedi Temple.
Because they're sacred items. What the Mandalorian's weapons and armor are always.
So then they raided.
You have to earn it, right? Like the jetpack. I love the fact that they had to earn the jetpack.
Yeah, that's exactly it with the dark saber. They raided the temple, they took it back, and then they made it to where whoever possesses the dark saber is the real Mandalore, the ruler of the planet.
No kidding. So it's the king. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So let's not. I don't. Let's not. Yeah, I don't want to give away too many spoilers. But yeah, that's crazy. Who ends up with it? Who we end up seeing with it at the end of the series. So we'll give that little spoiler. Obviously you see the dark saber. Otherwise we wouldn't be talking about this.
Yeah.
But
it's the very, very end, just before the credits.
Yup. Pay attention. Pay attention now. So what else? Robots. Yeah, so as far as The Mandalorian goes, the final episode, without giving away any spoilers, but since we already touched on some of it, the robot in it, the main one that like the Mandalorian all of a sudden grows to fucking love in a span of a week when he's hated robots his whole fucking life. I don't fucking understand it. This whole character growth shit is being pushed a little too fast and a little too much. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, the fucker goes against programming. Like, it's not obvious. Like, it's only because I paid attention to the fact that, well, the whole story behind this robot is that he was programmed differently than his original programming, right?
Yeah, he was programmed to take care of the kid.
To be the nurse bot instead of
the name of what everyone's calling Baby Yoda, the child.
Yeah, so
or the kid, one of the two.
Whatever. So this fucking robot, it reiterates this whole time. It's programmed. It can't go against its programming. Well, part of his programming is to follow direct orders. Mm-hmm. And he was very directly ordered to not do something, and then he goes off and does it anyway.
Yeah, because
it pissed me off.
Was to take care of the kid.
No, but yes, you're correct. But he also asks a question in relation to that, saying, "I need you to verify this in order for me to continue on my secondary, the alternative mission." You know, which would have been what it ended up being. But the response is in the negative. He doesn't go end up saying and acquiesce. Like, was that your phone?
No.
How rude.
It just reminded me to fucking keep my phone.
Oh, I left the window open. There's a bird squawking in the background.
Yeah.
Ah! I thought you had some sort of fucking...
No.
Ah!
No, I probably should.
That sounds like something you'd have. Anyway, Jesus. Hi, Frank. How are you today?
I'm okay. So then, the dark saber. What ended up happening with it was during the Clone Wars.
Oh, so you're just gonna do a full-on spoiler on the dark saber? Yeah, I mean, hey, this is this is half dark saber episode. I'm in it. This is interesting.
So during the
saving a lot of time watching that horrible animation.
Yeah.
I'm sure the storyline is great. The animation is just...
Well, it was the mid-2000s.
They were trying too hard, man. Trying just a little too hard to digitize everything and make things...
yeah, apparently it's part of the programming, the reason why they're always crossing their arms.
Okay.
I don't know. Somebody brought it up and I'm like, okay.
Like whatever engine they use has the person...
Or it's like, this is my line, and then
they stand
cross
there.
their arms.
Oh, interesting. That's true. Wow, I can't think of a single character that didn't just go like... Yeah, it's all subtly and nonchalantly crossing their arms with the little hip up. Pop that hip to the side.
And what happened? Yeah, so then during the Clone Wars, there was an arc featuring the dark saber where the Mandalorians... there was a Mandalorian civil war, and then one of them, last name Vizsla, was can't remember his name.
That's fine.
But
what
happened? Yeah, one of them ended up in possession of the dark saber.
They don't explain how he got it.
And I'm pretty sure.
Oh, in the middle of the war.
Yeah, and then so then these were the Mandalorians' Death Watch. They were outcasted to the moon of Mandalore.
Like the Night Watch in fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Night Watch or Death Watch. I think it's Death Watch. Night Watch. Well, one of the two. Something Watch.
But it's always the watch, right?
Yeah.
They send them out to the outskirts, the furthest we've ever been to watch, make sure there's no intruders coming from the north.
Yeah, so then these guys tried knocking the queen out of her throne, Duchess Satine, who was Obi-Wan's love interest in the.
What is with these fucking Jedi fucking princesses all the time?
I don't know, man.
They're the only women available, right? Wasn't that the whole thing in the original 3 Star Wars? Was that Leia was like the only female in the entire thing that wasn't an alien? But there were men everywhere. It's like, who are all these men fucking? Like, it's just Navy culture. Like,
yeah, just like in Empire Strikes Back, there was only one black guy in the entire universe.
Seamen.
So then, and then Darth Maul comes back.
No, you said there was only one black guy, but weren't all the clones the clone of a black guy? Boba Fett or Jango Fett?
Kiwi. He's from New Zealand.
Oh, he was a Kiwi?
Yeah.
Well, he's got a color to him.
Yeah, dark.
He's tanned.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so then Darth Maul comes back, and
did we see Darth Maul in the Mandalorian?
No, that was in Solo.
Oh, Solo is where.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's crazy that he was around at that time too. I thought they killed him by then.
They did, but then because ratings, they were like, well, let's bring back Darth Maul. Fuck it.
Hey, fuck it. I like a twist in the story.
Yeah.
I like the plot twist.
And so then what happened? Yeah, Darth Maul, he was rounding up all these fucking gangs.
Just trying to hold off on the fucking.
I'm trying.
We got called out on that last episode or two. I'm sorry
really
to our listeners. You do really good when we have guests on. But when it's just you, like, telling a story, it's like, fuck.
Well, it helps me remember things.
It doesn't help anybody follow the story, though.
Okay. But yeah, so Darth Maul is rounding up all these galactic gangs. And then he ends up making a deal with the Mandalorians that are exiled to the moon. And kind of like a false flag, if you will.
Oh, okay.
Right, to where he'll attack the queen, you know, or and then they'll come down, and they'll be the heroes, and they'll lock him up.
Right on.
So they did that, and then
that was the Civil War.
That's how it ended. And
that's how it ended.
Yeah. So
well, what kicked off the Civil War to begin with?
Good question.
Oh, come on. It's the Mandalorian Civil War and we don't know what kicked it off?
I remember.
Wow.
I think it was the whole who rules Mandalore.
Who rules Mandalore?
Kind of thing. But
I adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
Oh, I don't remember. I did it because it started in the books.
Bang.
That's why.
Oh. Anyway, fucking get lost in the weeds on that fucking story. So what happened? So in the end of the war, this motherfucker ends up, whatever the last name was, Vladimir.
So then
Putin or
fucking
ends up with the Dark Knight sword.
Yeah, so then Darth Maul breaks loose, and then he takes back the Dark Saber.
I'm starting to legitimately in my head get Batman and Jedi's confused right now. Whew, hold on, give me a second. Get my frame of reference back, alright?
Okay.
Alright, so we're back in Jedi Land.
So then Darth Maul breaks out and then challenges the owner of the Dark Saber to combat because by right, you know,
anybody can step up.
Yeah, you have to defeat the owner of whoever holds the Dark Saber.
So it's the king.
Defeat them, and then you're the true ruler of Mandalore. So
Makes
you
sense.
did that, and you beat the guy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so then what saved Mandalore was that the Emperor came.
Wait, Darth Maul beat the guy?
Yeah.
So Darth Maul had the saber for
Had
a split
the
second.
saber, and he was ruler of Mandalore.
Damn!
Yeah.
That's kind of beastly. But
Yeah.
I can't picture Darth Maul with anything other than that dual lightsaber. That dual lightsaber was bomb, dude. When that first came out, I was like, oh shit! It's red too. Oh, it's red double side. Oh shit! It was cool, man. I liked
We
it.
were kids too, so that probably helped.
Actually, as a child.
And then what happened? Yeah, so
My grandma pulled me out of school to go watch that. Like she sent, I think, her yard guy to go get tickets the day before. Yeah, I've been blessed in my life a time or two.
So then what helped Mandalore was that the Emperor Palpatine got word of it, and he went to Mandalore, and he was like, hey, you're supposed to be dead. So then they fought to the death, and he spared Maul. Maul was begging for his life.
No.
And somehow it ended up in Darth Maul's home planet, the Darksaber. And then it wasn't until Rebels that another Mandalorian by the name of Sabine Wren, she was practically called to it, by the Darksaber.
A la Ren style with Luke's
Like
lightsaber.
Rey with...
Who did I say? Ren, what I just said? Ren?
Ren, yeah.
Oh, whatever. Rey. If there was any Star Wars that I didn't enjoy as much, it was probably that one.
Yeah, when I saw it the second time, I was like, wow, this is fucking boring.
Yeah, there was a lot of it that was just way too messy, too PC, too social justice warrior about it. Like,
Yeah.
it was good. I mean, I appreciated it, but it wasn't traditional Star Wars. It focused too much on the interpersonal relations and not the Force and Jedi culture and the wars going on and all that shit.
The Last Jedi made me appreciate The Force Awakens.
The Last Jedi made you appreciate The Force Awakens.
Because after The Force Awakens, I was like, fuck this, it's a copy-paste of The New Hope. And then, and then when The Last Jedi came out, I was like, well, shit. I think I owe JJ an apology.
Because he set it up.
Yeah. But,
set it up, knock it down.
yeah, he had a whole TED talk about how his writing style is the mystery box. And I'm like, oh, so we have to suffer because you got hustled into a fucking mystery box when you were a kid?
I don't know what that means.
That he loves magic shops. As a kid, he would love going to magic shops.
Okay.
And so they sold him on a mystery box. It's like, hey, for, what was it? For like...
You just get a bag of goodies, you don't know what's
like
coming in.
$20.
And you just make something work out
And
of
it
it.
could be anything. It could even be a boat.
Ooh.
Yeah, until the guy was like, sold.
Give me a boat. Alright. Yeah, give me an underwater world where we use rebreathers to dive down into.
And then, so that's his style of
Can
writing.
you tell the last Star Wars I was ever into was the episode 1, 2, and 3 that came out? It's like all my references are like Jar Jar Binks and that whole era. Well, what the fuck, man?
And then what happened was that Sabine Wren, she was like, no, I'm not worthy of ruling Mandalore, blah, blah, blah.
You did say Ren, okay? I didn't pull that name out of my ass. You did, it was in my head for a reason.
Some of the Mandalorians were like, no, you're not the legit leader because you stole it. You didn't fight for it.
Did she steal it though, or was it like non-claimed?
She found it.
She claimed it.
Yeah.
When it was an unclaimed.
And she didn't fight Darth Maul over it.
So that's ridiculous.
They're like, you're not the legit leader. Because it's, I guess, trial by combat? I don't know.
It has to be a trial by combat. Okay, fair enough. I guess maybe had she had to go through like this whole hero's journey to retrieve it, it may have gone easier for her.
Yeah.
But so she just straight up finds it like, what, on the ground?
Yeah, she finds it on a bench, I guess.
Wow. Inspired writing. Really pulled the boat out of the box for that one.
And so then, what happened? Yeah, so then she leads her house she leads a strike against the Empire, I think it was. And so then she was like, I'm not worthy of this. She goes over to Duchess Satine's sister and she's like, here, you should have it. And she's like, no, I can't. So then they do a raid And then the sister of Duchess Satine was like, yeah, you're right. I should probably hold on to that. So then she did.
What? So nonchalant.
Well, the way I describe it, yeah, but you know, I don't want to, you know, steal the moment from the.
I feel like people that are into Clone Wars have already seen Clone Wars, and I don't feel it gathering.
Yeah, but
too
this
much
part that I'm talking about is in
Oh.
Star Wars Rebels, which just ended like 2 years ago.
Oh, is that a follow up to
Yeah.
Clone Wars? Okay.
Yeah.
Same shitty animation though, huh?
It's a bit better.
A little better.
Yeah,
I hope so.
not so many crossing of the arms. Yeah, so then that's where it ended up, with the sister of Duchess Satine ruling Mandalore, and then there was a purge, which is why the Mandalorians were underground.
Okay, and this is when they wiped out. Who purged them?
The Empire, I think it was.
The Empire came in
Yeah, it
and
was the
just
Empire.
wiped them out.
That's why fucking Pollos Hermanos over there is the one running the show.
That's a Breaking Bad reference for those of you who don't catch up with that. Have you didn't even watch Breaking Bad?
No, but Pollos Hermanos is in
Better Call Saul,
yeah.
which is a spin-off of Breaking Bad. It's very odd for you to watch a spin-off of something you've never seen.
Yeah, well.
But it's fair. It is its own show and its
Yeah.
own thing in itself. I think I only saw like the first half of the first season. It's a little too. No. Too busy a time for me. I think at the time it came out, and then I just never got back to it. But yeah, so Pollos Hermanos man comes out in there. He's the big bad black guy, I guess. Because there's like 3 of them. How many? I don't remember. They really tried to get the diversity in there with what fucking episode was it? Or like
The one with the Atwalker.
the AT-AT Walker?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
The big ass robot that was raiding the village. And
Yeah.
and like, who here has ever shot a gun? And it's the chick that raises her hand, and they're like, I guess she's the one leading the charge.
You.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of? Are you a fan of Bill Burr, the comedian?
I'm not a fan.
But you know who he was when
Yeah,
he came out. You
yeah.
recognized him. What'd you think of it? I was rather surprised by his
The
acting
joke
chops.
was that since he spent a lot of his career bashing Star Wars,
And acting.
John Favreau was
He's not
like,
even really an actor. Like,
Yeah.
it was real weird for him to decide to do an acting
John
job.
Favreau reached out to him and he's like, hey, you want to be in Star Wars? He's
Yeah.
like, fuck no, I spent my fucking career bashing Star Wars.
Yeah.
Why would I be in Star Wars?
He played a fucking great character,
Yeah,
man.
and he's like, come on, it'd be funny. It'll be hilarious, come on.
It was pretty funny. It was really funny to see. I was like, is that motherfucker? And how svelte he looked. He looked so slim and trim and proper, and that I couldn't believe what a good actor he was, man. Of course, he was basically playing himself, right?
Yeah.
Just a fucking asshole. Just somebody with this
Masshole, he's from Massachusetts.
the
They're
wise
called
ass
Masshole.
little quips at the end of
Yeah.
everybody's fucking sentences. I liked it, man. I liked him. I'm happy they didn't kill him off.
I was like, oh, so there's at least one person in the galaxy with a Boston accent. Great.
I guess if that's what you want to take away from it, man. I mean, I see it as anything else. There's accents all over the world. You're going to find this accent there. It's just predominantly going to be one type of accent. You can go to where he's from, everybody talks like him.
Yeah. So we can imagine that there's a planet out there where everyone has a Boston accent.
Yeah, whole Bostonian planet, yeah.
The whole
Wow.
planet looking for the khakis.
The khakis. You're so... What is this? Where did this whole bit about Boston come from? Do you have a thing? What, have you ever been to Boston?
It's just fucking... Some accents are...
Oh, did I ever tell you? It's probably a horrible accent, but I would do the Boston accent when I would go to clubs when I lived in Austin for a little bit. Pretend to be Danny O'Connor from Boston. Moved down here. My dad's working in the factory over there. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, but I fucking... When everybody's drunk around you and you're the only sober person... Because I didn't drink till years later.
So you met me.
I met a few... Oh, yeah, that's right. I didn't start drinking until I met you. Damn you. You're just a curse on my life. A pox.
Yeah.
A pox, sir. But you're a beautiful pox.
Mm-hmm.
Like a pox that leaves a scar in a shape of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful mark on my ass for that.
Beautiful is beautiful, man.
Beautiful, man. So I'm gonna flip this around 180 because I think we've run out of Star Wars talk. Is there anything else you want to touch on Star Wars? Because I want to spin this.
Well, we can talk about the whole recent developments.
Being
The Reddit thread.
the Reddit. You know, that's too in the weeds, man.
Oh well.
I mean, if you want, it's. Who cares that much about these two fucking businesses? Like, that's not entertaining.
Well,
That's just economics.
Well, now there's a JJ cut of Star Wars.
Is it coming out?
And it's trending. # release the JJ cut.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, because I guess you did open up this whole episode saying how much you had a distaste for this new episode, this new movie that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what, without giving too much away, what was it? Was it the acting? Was it the storyline? Was it the lighting, overall effects? What did they do that brought such great shame upon the name of Star Wars?
It was a movie by committee. You can tell. If you watch it, you're like, what the fuck is this shit? It's like the fucking monkeys in suits.
Well, like the
came up with it.
The Rey episode. What the fuck? Which one was that one? The First Jedi? The Rise of the Jedi?
The Force Awakens?
The Force Awakens, that one. I felt like that one was very much a committee-made movie. Like, we gotta get a black guy, gotta make the main character grow, gotta have her not need his help even to fucking get back up after an explosion.
Yeah, the thread confirms that, again, if it's true, that Disney does have an agenda. And so then the reason why the lead was a female is because they wanted to spread the whole feminism, female empowerment thing.
Of course, it was coming out in a very
And then
particular time.
John Boyega almost didn't get cast because
Who's John Boyega?
the black guy.
Oh, that's his name? Pip?
No, Finn.
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 I'm not the name guy on this podcast. You're like calling out Clone Wars episode characters. Like, how the fuck do you retain that type of information?
Yeah.
I can't even remember the last Star Wars movie I watched.
Yeah, Pip was in Infinity War. He was God, what's his name?
Pip?
That's
Patrol. Not
was,
even
what's his name?
Star Wars.
What's his name? The guy from Game of Thrones.
I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I can't take the pressure.
Okay. So anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, so then John Boyega almost didn't get cast because they were afraid that on the other side of the world, it wasn't going to be too well received. That it was going to cost them money.
Well, good. It should cost them money.
No. Like they would lose money because they had a black actor. So then
That's
in
insane.
the Chinese movie poster for The Force Awakens, Finn is shrunk down.
Oh, they made him
By
like
a
a
lot.
side bit character.
They made him a background.
As far as the...
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just marketing, though.
So
But you do that. I mean, that's marketing. Like, down here, everybody was following the Hispanic dude, the one that fucking immediately, like, kills his partner at the very beginning, you know? What was his name? The guy with the jacket. Poe
Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, it's like everybody down here, he's tanned. So he was on all the posters down here, and he had, like, a minimal role, you know? I mean, not nearly as big a role as everybody else in that.
Well, it was a lot smaller, but J.J. Abrams gave him a break. And again, J.J. Abrams...
But the posters that I would see, like, at the movie theaters here, were a Hispanic community, it seemed like he was blown up like he was a Han Solo fucking character.
Well, that's who he was meant to be.
I guess. Like that rogue... Whatever. The trope. Too many trope characters in that one. And again, I like the movie. I can enjoy it for what it is. I can take myself out of what I expect from all the Star Wars that came before and the Star Wars that are coming from the future. Like, I just want to sit down and enjoy the fucking movie I'm sitting down and watching. Don't ruin it while we're watching it.
You just care if it's entertaining or not.
Yeah.
You don't watch it critically.
Did I not think of anything else for the last 2.5 hours? Great! Money well spent.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That if you see this latest episode, if you even think for a little bit, the entire movie falls apart.
Oh. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. That's the trouble I was having a little bit with the last episode of The Mandalorian. There were just certain things that just pushed too far, but pushed the narrative too far. In advance, like they should have just taken maybe one more episode to flesh out the details of that last one.
Yeah.
They could have found ways around the programming to make it, or like, I don't know. It was a little extreme.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
enough on
so
Star
it was
Wars.
like, yeah, towards the end, I was like, okay, how are they gonna wrap this up? And it's like, oh, that's why he earned the jetpack, so we can wrap this up.
Yeah. Well, not just that made sense. It was how they got out of that tunnel and
Yeah.
to begin with. That pissed me off. I just felt like if anything, he could have used that jetpack at that moment to fly through
Yeah,
as a
because it's got a
distraction.
rocket on top.
You know,
Fire
something.
it.
God
Yeah.
damn. Anyway, if only we were writers. Why aren't we making millions of dollars writing a script? Well, shit, man. I'm gonna flip this around. I'm done with the Star Wars talk. I think there was nothing. But how do you? I'm trying to figure out how to make that inappropriate. So I'm gonna ask you an inappropriate question.
Okay.
Were there any parts in Star Wars? We can see. I can segue it.
Okay.
All right. Were there any parts in the Star Wars, The Mandalorian, all these battle scenes where you're reminded of your time spent in the Marines? I know you've suffered from PTSD as much as several, some other people we've had on the pod. I'm curious, do you ever have moments from movies like that, especially in theaters when it's so visceral around you?
Yeah, movies, yeah. Star Wars not so much because it's all lasers and we never shot lasers at each other.
True. Yeah.
So I guess that helps. Which is another thing. Like I can see them Vietnam movies just fine. I was playing to my father.
And the
because
visuals.
I was never in the jungle. I was in the desert.
Mm.
Yeah, so then desert combat is what sucks me into it, and I feel like I'm there again.
Do you start getting like heart palpitations or something? You start
Well,
sweating?
my palms are sweaty and my hands start shaking, and then I'm like I feel like I'm back in it again.
What's the last movie that you remember that happening with?
What's it called? Brothers? The one with Tobey Maguire and Mysterio. What's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal?
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah. Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Spider-Man?
I guess.
From the Spider-Man.
Yeah, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
The jazz singing Spider-Man?
The emo Spider-Man, yeah.
He wasn't emo. He was just sad. He had a lot. He had a lot going on in his life, Frank.
No, like when he was evil, quote unquote, evil Peter Parker.
He wasn't.
He was
emo.
all fucking emo.
No, he wasn't.
Yes,
he was swaggy. He was like jazz 1950. Like I have no idea why all of a sudden we're in the 1950s jazz club or whatever. But
because Kristen Stewart was like, I like to sing more. And Raimi was like, okay.
Barf. Anyway, talking about flops. That part. Why do they do that with the Amazing Spider-Man? With all the Spider-Man movies. 1, great. 2, oh my God, they did a good job. 3, let's just fucking throw this one away.
Because Sony was forcing
every time
Venom into
they did part 3, Amazing Spider-Man with Jamie Foxx. That one was kind of thrown away the way that they overproduced it and underwrote the story.
Oh, horrible.
And then same thing with this last one with fucking Jake Gyllenhaal. I couldn't fucking believe it as mysterious. Like it was just so underproduced. Like it was weird, man. Like there was a level of professionalism lacking in the overall production. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was the shadows, the graphics weren't quite up to snuff. I feel like it's the same thing they did to Jamie Foxx. They made it like a music video rather than if this was happening with real lighting effects. You know? I don't know.
Well, that's on Sony.
Yeah, Sony overdoes their shit, man. That's why I couldn't watch the Transformers movies.
Really?
Yeah, just way over fucking produced.
Too over the top.
Over the top.
Very Michael Bay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like something a little closer to home. Got burnt out on those. But anyway, so back to the the original question. So, you said Brothers?
I think that's what it's called.
So like Black Hawk Down, shit like that. Anything dealing with that particular area in general.
Black Hawk Down, surprisingly, no. Probably because it takes place back then, and it's in Africa. So,
I was just talking about the desert, sandy setting.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever ride in the helicopters?
Yes.
Any?
It wasn't. I guess it was flying into combat, but it was like we were flying to get to our base.
Your outpost or whatever?
Yeah.
What was it called? Outpost or base?
Camp Ramadi.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
And what was that? Did you see anything flying in?
It was nighttime.
Oh, you fly in cover of darkness.
Yeah.
And what's that feeling like, man?
Felt like, I don't know, like I was in one of those movies, I guess. I don't know.
Now, that's your first time going in anywhere that's seeing any action?
Yeah.
So, coming out of there, did it still feel like a movie?
Yes, but it was like a movie of my life.
It was more like, more personal,
Yeah.
less removed.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there anything to keep with the Star Wars angle? Is there anything that you take away from Star Wars that you can relate? I don't know. Fuck it. Can you relate Star Wars to your experience out there in any way?
Actually, good thing you asked that. It was declassified for us, and the word got out, and so I can say this. But in some, I guess, interrogations and questionings are two completely different things. But in one of those, some of those questionings, it was learned that these terrorist cells, like the people joining these terrorist organizations, they take inspiration from Star Wars.
What?
Yeah, because it's a small band of rebels, you know,
Religious base.
that have nothing, that they're like Luke was.
There's obviously a good and a light and a dark
yeah,
side.
they join forces to fight an evil empire, and that empire being
The United
the
States.
United States.
Or Western culture
Yeah.
in general. Wow, that's intense. Why was this classified though?
Because the high value target that was being interviewed, questioned, interrogated.
Oh, that high value target is the one that
Yeah.
admitted that?
Yeah, that they were the.
But that's just one guy saying, like, it could
No, it
just
was
be.
more than one guy.
Well, tell us more, Frank. Don't be so
Well,
vague.
that's
Tell us
what I
what
was-
you can.
That's what I was told. Like in Age of Ultron, how Scarlet Witch was saying that yeah, there was a missile that landed in front of us, and the name Tony Stark was on the side of it,
Mm-hmm.
and we were just waiting for it to fucking blow up, and it never did. That's kind of what some people over there.
Well, wasn't
go
that
through.
in part 1 too? That was the whole deal, is that his name's all over these weapons, so they need to kidnap him and get him to build him the proper Jericho weapon or whatever the fuck they wanted.
Yeah, Jericho. So yeah, and that used to be entirely too common. Back in the day, what was it, 10, 20 years ago? 2003?
What used to become?
That whole fucking, this is an evil empire taking over our...
Oh, that it was
Yeah.
common that they all used
Thought
Jedi
that.
as inspiration.
Yeah.
I mean, but you could do that with a lot of movies,
Yeah.
arguably.
You can spin anything into anything.
Yeah, usually it's some race war. Well, like fucking, what was
Like
it?
Fast and the Furious?
No, Area 9 or something. What the fuck was it?
Oh, District 9.
District 9,
Yeah.
yeah. Like District 9, they come and they're all of a sudden like the... I don't understand it. They have all this technology and they come down and they end up being the... Was it the aliens that ended up being
Yeah, the
like,
aliens were in camps.
shanty towns
Yeah,
and
yeah,
shit? I was like, how did that make any sense? Like, they have this giant thing in the sky that we can't obviously do anything about. I don't know. It was batshit.
Yeah.
Batshit crazy. But it was a great movie. I love
Yeah.
District 9. What about that kind of movie? when they're really forcing the narrative of like the similarities between what's going on in war and what we're seeing in the movies, because they were obviously bringing in that story a little bit.
Well, it's freedom of speech. Like I said in that other Marine Movies episode, it's like it's them expressing their opinion, man. That's the way they view the world. Like, oh well. They just so happen to be in a position where their creative outlet reaches a broader audience. It's okay. Like what's his name? Michael Moore, the fat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. His recent work was just ridiculous, man. It's like
really.
It's like he had a point. Okay, he was getting there, and then about halfway through, he just fucking loses you. He just starts fucking reaching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which documentary is this?
It was Fahrenheit 11/9. Yeah.
Wait, what?
There was one that was like.
It was Fahrenheit 9/11 was his first one that like really blew up.
And then this one 11/9.
Why 11/9?
Because elections. 2016
Oh.
elections.
How? Oh, conveniently titled.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good title.
Yeah.
Fucking shit. So, as far as them seeing themselves as rebels, what was your interaction like with... I think I've asked this before. What was the interaction like with the people that you were staying with? Like the air, like you would take over houses as bases for a little while and have all the families centralized in the place. How many times did you end up doing that? Like how many?
Quite a few times.
Like in the course of a week, like how long would you stay out there, hopping from building to building?
Quite sometimes. I want to put a number on this because you asked a week, and I'm like.
Well, in a couple days, in 2 days.
I don't know. I want to say 4 times out of 10 days.
So 4 times. So then once every couple days.
Yeah.
And during this time, what's the kind of feedback you're getting from the people that live there? Are you getting a variety of reactions, or are they all kind of
some
along
of
the
them,
same line?
like this one kid, we went into the house because cover, right? And so these people already know what's going on. Like they know.
So the gunshots are happening. You're taking cover, or
no?
is it preventative?
This was in broad daylight, and there wasn't that much brush. And you gotta remember, this is Sniper Town.
Right.
Right. So then we ended up going into a house while awaiting our cue to fucking move ahead, or some shit. I don't remember. But yeah. So then this family already knew the drill. Like, oh, when you get Americans in your house, they're searching your house. So then this one kid gave me a tour, and he was very, very like, yes, man, I'm on your side. I'm like, okay, kid, calm down. And it turns out that his dad was an IP, Iraqi police.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're like, okay, that explains why the kid.
He's real gung ho about doing the right thing and helping.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of sweet, man.
He was like smiling at me, like while he was showing me around.
Proud. He's proud to be able to be of assistance to the people that are helping.
And I'm like, calm down, kid.
Well, because you don't understand. This is all in retrospect. You appreciate it now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because you're saying it with a real cute smile on, like, it was a fond memory looking back on it. I can see how at the time it could be off-putting, though, because what the fuck do you want, kid? Like, well, because, okay, so that was a good experience. What was a bad experience you had doing that? Did you have anybody? Uh-oh. Looks like we're going to have to wrap this episode up, because our guest has arrived.
Hey!
I was like messaging you.
The moon child is here.
My phone there.
You are useless with that cell phone, sir.
Oh, I just.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry, I couldn't get up and let you into my apartment. I'm trying to finish this episode because Frank walked away from the mic. Come, sit down. Sit down. We'll set up
Right there with the
in a minute. Hi, Cassie. Cassie just walked in the door. Frank is coming back right now, and we will wrap this up.
Yeah, that's what I get for not paying attention to my phone. I'm like, I had it right here.
I saw you look at it at least 3 or 4 times in the last few minutes.
Yeah,
But
she sent me like fucking, how many? 10,
6.
20? 6! I was gonna say 8!
I'll hold him down for you. I'll let you slap him a few times.
Yeah.
Never mind, he might like that too much. So this has been the Completely Inappropriate Podcast, everybody. I am Tony. This is
Frank.
That was our Star Wars talk and a little touch on some of Frank's Marine past.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Frank, what do we tell the people?
Be excellent to each other.
And find your happy fuckers. Take it easy. Bye.